Just to start off, I'm going to give you a basic overview of the ADDIE instructional design model. The ADDIE instructional design model is aimed at giving an iterative approach to instructional design. There's the analysis phase in which the instructional designer is clarifying the instructional problems and objectives that are needed with the course and identifying the learning environment for the learners. There is the design phase in which the design of the course begins. Learning objectives, assessments, instruments, exercises, and content is begun to be looked at and chosen and selected for the course. This needs to be systematic and specific so that it's targeted for specific courses and it's logical. Students can follow along with the process and they can understand the design of the structure of their learning. The design phase may also involve writing and creating a document which outlines the course and the instructional objectives of the course. And then you move into the development phase. In the development phase, that's where you're actually creating the course. You're putting the instructional design elements of instructional objectives to targeted learning objectives, and you're beginning to develop and create content that meets the students' learning needs. There's storyboarding, there's multimedia that may become important at that point. People begin testing the course and seeing how the content flows and whether learning objectives are being met. Then there is the step of the implementation phase. At the implementation phase, you're basically testing the course. You have a course developed, you've put it in place, you have instructional objectives, you have content to meet those instructional objectives and a guide for instructors to put those into place. Facilitators have a clear message of how the content is to be taught, the delivery, there are delivery methods that are clearly laid out, and how the course is assessed is in place. At this phase of implementation, it's also an important stage to also look at the course and begin to evaluate the effectiveness of the pieces in place. And that moves us into the evaluation phase. Once the evaluation phase begins, you're beginning to look at what was successful within the course design. Were students engaged at one point and not another? Are there formative and summative learning points of assessments that allow you to understand what was learned and what may need improvement in the course? And with ADDIE, this is an iterative process. So after the evaluation phase, it is important to go back through these steps and improve the course. So that is the basics of the ADDIE course design model, is that you move through these phases and then you iteratively update the course. So the basics of this video is really around how does digital pedagogy fit into this instructional design model.